Welcome into New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. We're about to get into a mailbag, which aired on our live show that happens every single Wednesday at about 5 o'clock Central Time, 6 p.m. Eastern. Two-step process to get on these mailbags. You got to be a subscriber, and you got to join our live shows. So do that next week when we go live. Danny Becker, I understand that Cam Reddish is a shot maker. He makes a lot of tough shots. But do you think it hurts a team when you're only making 100%? He, at this point throughout his career, has been somewhat of an inefficient player, right? At some point, he has to become more efficient. You can't be a 40% three-point shooter. You can't have a 40% shooter from the field in your starting lineup alongside Julius Randle and R.J. Barrett and be an efficient team. I like Cam. I think he has potential. He's just got to reach it. I don't know if he will be able to do it, though, with the New York Knicks. Elio, what up, man? He says, to be honest, if Randle plays good, we'll definitely make the playoffs. He just has to play with his right hand. Be dominant. Well, he's a lefty. Plus, Brunson will open up the court. No doubt about it. Brunson is going to make life for Julius Randle really easy. And, well, not really easy, but easier than it has been in the past couple of years. Since Randle has been with the Knicks, he hasn't played with a point guard. Elfrid Payton and Alec Burks. He's had some runs with Derrick Rose, and that's when he's played his best basketball. And that's what makes me believe that him with Jalen Brunson is going to be a very good pairing. I think having a point guard that can control the pace, get their own bucket, demand a double team at times, while also being a good facilitator and a creator for others on the court, I think it's really going to help a guy like Julius Randle. El Cid, should Tibbs be fired? Would Mark Jackson be a good selection? I haven't seen Mark Jackson coach basketball in a really long time. So I know he's a New Yorker, and it'd be cool to see him back with the Knicks on the sideline, coaching the Knicks, the team he was drafted by, but just doesn't really make all that much sense for me. I wouldn't fire Tom Thibodeau. If the Knicks miss the playoffs this year, though, and they attempt to be a winning team, then I think definitely you can fire him. But I don't think the Knicks actually will ever fire Tom Thibodeau. And what I mean by that is when they want to relieve him of his head coaching duties, they're going to move him to the front office. That's what I think happens. Sean Hayes, how did it happen that y'all grew up in Texas, but you were part of a diehard Giants and Knicks family? Well, because my family is from New York. I was born in New York, and then I moved to Texas. My dad, 35 years, lived in New York. It's pretty simple, to be honest with you. Born in New York, raised by a New Yorker. I think that makes me a New Yorker. But look, y'all can be haters all you want. Sean, I know you're not a hater, but kind of a silly question if you ask me. Neutronic, we need Mike Woodson. I liked Mike Woodson with the Knicks. I just think we're kind of past that. Yeah. So I like Mike Woodson. I just don't know if he's the next guy for the New York Knicks. Honestly, the next coach I want for the Knicks is someone that's not a retread. I want someone that's never been a head coach before. I want someone that we can make our own, that he can be the next coach of the New York Knicks. That's kind of where I'm going with the next coach of the Knicks if Tom Thibodeau inevitably or eventually gets fired. Will the Knicks make the 7th or 6th seed playoff spot? I believe they will with at least 48 wins. 6th or 7th seed is going to be tough. I think they're right around there. I think they can finish anywhere from 6 to 10. I think they're closer to a play-in team than a play-off team, but anything can happen. I don't know if they win 48 games this year. That would be an 11-game jump. I don't think they win 48 games. I think they're closer to 43 games and a 7th, 8th, or 9th seed for the New York Knicks. I think they're a play-in team. Potential to be a playoff team, especially if they make a trade. I'll ask you, though, what are the Knicks? What are the Knicks this upcoming season? Are they a playoff team? Are they a play-in team? Let me know what you think. Type 1 for playoff, type 2 for play-in. Or you can type 3 if you think they're lottery bound. Alfonso, Who's ready for Tibbs to not play the young guys that the front office wouldn't trade? That's what sucks, right? Like, Tom Thibodeau, as we know, doesn't really like playing young guys. And that's where this team needs to go. You play the young guys, you trade the vets, then you consolidate assets and players, and you make a move for a superstar. What the Knicks are trying to do is the hardest thing in the NBA. They are trying to win now while also rebuild, retool on the fly, and be better for years to come. How do you win now? You don't play the young guys and you play the vets. But how do you get better in the future? You don't play the vets and you play the young guys. It's kind of a contradicting style. It's a slippery slope that could end you up in years of being an 8, 9, or 10 seed. Go look at the Dallas Mavericks. After they won their championship in 2011, they tried to compete and build for the future, and they didn't get it done. But as soon as they committed to a tank, they got Luka Doncic, and now they're back in the driver's seat of the Western Conference. Big L, my guy, if you were in Tibbs' shoes, how would you distribute the minutes for the youth? So I would have Quentin Grimes be the starter. I would start Grimes at the 2. This would be my starting 5 if I was the coach. And then I would have Quickly be my first guy off the bench, followed by Rose, and then Toppin. And then I want to see Fournier and Reddish kind of split minutes. Then I want to see some from Hartenstein. I want to see some from Sims. Can I get 20 minutes from Quickly, 20 minutes from Rose, 15 minutes from Reddish, and 20-plus minutes from Toppin? That's what I would like to see if I was the head coach of the New York Knicks. I know it's still a process going forward, but I just wish they would commit to a full rebuild. Subscribe to New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. We put out videos every single day on the latest New York Knicks news and rumors. So if you're looking for a one-stop shop on YouTube that does nothing but cover the New York Knicks, go down right now, hit that big red button. We're trying to get to 14,000 subscribers. Hit that big red button. Let's ride. Hit that big red button. Let's ride. I sent you a Slack. Look at that real quick. What do you think is the next trade is going to be for the Knicks? Man, if I had a crystal ball, I'd rub it and I would find out. But it was a couple of minutes ago. It was before the mailbag, so you may have to go find it. The next trade, man, I don't think it's out there. I mean, if you're trading for a superstar, I don't think that's out there at the moment. But I think you could trade guys like Fournier. I think you could trade guys like Reddish. I think you could trade guys like Randle. Could you trade, like Jason B. talked about, Reddish, Fournier, and Julius Randle for Russell Westbrook? I think that's definitely a possibility. But I'll ask you this question. Pick one of these guys to keep. Who would you rather have on the Knicks roster coming up this season? Who would you rather have? Type 30 for Julius Randle. Type 13 for Evan Fournier. Let me know which one of these guys you would rather keep this upcoming season. My guy Carl, why is Money Marsh always throwing slight shade to my guy Killer Cam? For shame, Marshall, for shame. I don't want to be the guy that seems like I'm hating on Cam Reddish, but the stats are what the stats are, right? He's been an inefficient player. He's been hurt more times than healthy. Had some good games last year for the Knicks, no doubt. The game against the Clippers when he dropped 17. Like, Cam has all the potential in the world, right? 6'8" wing, can put the ball on the deck, can finish with the left, finish with the right, score at all 3 levels. He can take tough shots. He can make tough shots. He's a good defender, but he just got to put it all together. And I don't want to seem like I'm a hater, but I'm not really sure what there is to hate on if he's never really done it in the regular season. Had a good couple of games in the Eastern Conference Finals with the Hawks, but I don't think anyone can say Cam Reddish has put a solid 82 games together. I'd love for that to happen, and I'd love for it to be this year with the Knicks. He just got to show me before I go out and reach my neck out there for someone that's never done it before. I see the potential. You just got to go out and do it. Jason B., Randle was a fun player in 2020 to watch. Absolutely. An all-star with MVP chance. 2021 wasn't as good and damaged his brand. Equals his value at an all-time low. Why are we so quick to get rid of him? I think a lot of people are upset with Julius Randle, Jason. I think Some fans didn't like the thumbs down thing, the lack of defense, the lack of effort, there's an I in team. I don't think that he embraced guys like Kemba Walker or like RJ Barrett or Julius Randle. Hasn't been a good mentor, in my opinion, to guys like Obi Toppin. No doubt, what you said is true. He was a fun player to watch. Most improved player, finished top 10 in MVP voting, second team All-NBA. If I can get that 2020 Randle again, I would want that guy on my team every single game. I just don't know if that guy still exists. I think Randle, this upcoming year, he won't be 2020, but he won't be 2021. He'll be somewhere in the middle. And that guy in the middle is still a valuable basketball player. But he's just got to go out and prove it to get these Knicks fans back on his side. I think he did, like you said, he damaged his brand. And like you said, his volume's at an all-time low. Why are we so quick to trade him? Because we're emotional Knicks fans. But this regime is not, I think, in a hurry to trade him. They won't trade him unless they get a valuable offer back in return. Sean Hayes, last one on this mailbag, $5 super chat. Appreciate you, Sean. I'm thinking Johnny Bryant would be the next coach. He's the assistant coach right now. I thought y'all were born in Texas. I just asked to hear your story in a positive way. Nope. Born in New York, on Long Island. Moved to Texas when I was a year and a half. So I was very young, but I can't control where my parents move. But I feel like being raised in a house by a New Yorker that says my name, like Marshall. I think being raised by that guy makes me a New Yorker. I'm a Knicks, Giants, and Yankees fan, die hard. I don't have to claim to be a New Yorker, but don't call me a fake Knicks fan. Not saying you said that. Some people said that, and that's just weird behavior. And I think Johnny Bryant is absolutely a guy that could be the next head coach, to answer your question, Sean. End of today's show, at least this mailbag. If you made it this far in the show, be a real one and drop a real one in the comment section. The reason I ask always to drop a real one is because when I go back and look at the comments, I like to see who finished the video compared to who didn't finish the video. So if you finished the video, you made it this far, type real one in the comments right now.